Welcome to the Gold Split Podcast.
All right, well, welcome to the first episode of the Gold Split Podcast. I am your host, CC Neverender, with my co-host,
Squidbird.
and we have today with us our guest of honor, Zella1. Hello, Zella.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man?
Going good.
All right.
How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. Well, I can't speak for CC, but I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing all right. I just finished recording some voiceover for the new Speed Dog video going up soon.
Nice.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Zella is kind of a legend in the monkey ball community.
It's legendary.
The absolute unit.
Why, thank you.
Absolute unit.
Just in one section. The Monkey Ball 1 section.
Yeah.
Which one?
But
So you do Monkey Ball 1 and 2, or just 1, or?
I've dabbled a bit with 2, but I haven't really spent as much time on it as 1.
It's mostly just 1, okay. Because I saw you've been doing like master level speedruns.
Yeah, it's basically first split resets over and over.
Oh boy.
Yep, but I mean that's what happens when you're trying to compete with like 2 people that basically have really, really good runs that don't really have many mistakes. So
Yeah, it's optimizing. Slowly but surely, it's like you can't make any mistakes to the point where it's kind of gets frustrating. That's just that's all, you know. That's all speed runs. It gets to a point.
I think shorter speedruns though are just more about like getting the really good run, like the god run, more than like long.
Right.
Because like you can make a lot of mistakes in long ones and always bring it back, which I kind of like too about long speedruns, but like I think I like watching shorter speedruns more and like doing them as of now.
Yeah. And you're currently 3rd place, right?
Yeah, I was second for a month, and then it got taken over by the Aussie legend, Bahunga. Shoutouts.
Shoutouts. What's the longest speed run you've done?
Longest. I mean, when I was doing Monkey Ball 2, like I was so bad, and it took me like an hour to beat it. I think even when I started Monkey Ball 1, it took me like a long time to beat it.
So like 1 hour is like the longest speed run?
Yeah, but it like the world record is like 30 minutes, like a lower. Right now I think it's a freaking 28.
I get you.
Crazy.
Yeah, whenever I first started running Sunshine, my times were like 3 hours. So
yeah.
even though it's like a 1 hour and like 10-minute game now, like any percent, just my times were so bad it was 3 hours, and I can only get 1 run in a day.
I have y'all beat. My first 120 run was over 5 hours long.
Oof.
I think Lunar had the same.
Yeah, Lunar had a 5-hour run.
I mean, but that's what happens if you like.
Yeah.
Once you start, like, you can't expect to be as good as the top runners immediately.
Especially if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's even like harder to get a good time.
Yeah.
But everyone starts somewhere. So.
Yeah. Because of that, though, I've pretty much refused to do like any run that's longer than like an hour and a half. You know, or like 2 hours. Like that 2 hour line is like my mark. If it's longer than 2 hours, even if I practice and I get good at it, if the run is longer than 2 hours, I'm like, I'm not really that interested in playing this game. Or at least not more than like a couple times.
It would have to depend on how fun the run is, and like for me, I haven't tried to do a longer run, but I was thinking about learning games that are like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, like the top times. But like, it's just intimidating for me since I'm just so used to like shorter games. Like, I mean, I just run Monkey Ball. Like, I don't really run anything else. But like, yeah, and like learning the routes are really weird for me since Monkey Ball isn't really like a route-based type game.
It's all level based, right?
Yeah, it's all level based. And it's like easy to practice too. So
they got the level selection screen, right?
Mm-hmm,
like for practice, where you can just keep resetting and
you don't need to buy Yeah, you just keep practicing. Yeah, you don't need to buy like a separate Game Shark or something. Like I think
Yeah.
for Mario 64, and
Yeah,
you don't need to do
Game
save
Shark is
states.
definitely necessary for that,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
So how did you get into speedrunning? Like, what was your like introduction into it, and what made you decide that you wanted to speedrun Monkey Ball?
Okay. I think I went over this with like some other people, so maybe I can explain it pretty well. So basically, I was in college. Like when I was dorming in college, I basically found like a Smash team first, like a Smash tournament. Then I met
Mhm.
some friends through the Smash tournament, and then for some reason I did pretty well at the tournament. They're like, "Oh, you're pretty good." I'm like, "Wait, well, I always thought like I was pretty good because I knew kind of all this stuff, but I never like played a tournament before. Like I knew like this advanced techniques and stuff." And then I made friends with like the people that were like pretty good at the game there. So I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like I've never had like friends that played video games before that were like wanted to get better at it. And then yeah, so basically one day I like came over to my friend's dorm, like his room, and he was watching a speedrun of like AGDQ of like one guy. His name was like Peaches, I think, and he was playing Super Mario 64 with like one hand, and I was like, "What?" And
Peaches
then
sounds familiar, but I don't know about that
Yeah.
one in particular.
yeah, he was playing it with one hand at like AGDQ. I don't remember what year it was. It might have been like 2014 or 2015. It probably was 2015. And then it might have been it was 14 or 15, but then I remember like, wait, people actually watch people do speedruns of this, like, or like, I mean, I could understand people watching like Melee, but then I was like, people watch someone just play like a video game by themselves, like what? And then people were clapping, and I was like, what? Like why? Like it's awesome, but like I can't believe there's this many people like are into it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know? And then I think I would also like I would browse Twitch back in the day, like I was a lurker. And then I would see like speedruns of like Monkey Ball Deluxe, and I think Jeff was running it at the time. And he basically had like 1,000 people watching him play like Monkey Ball Deluxe. I was
Jesus.
like, wait, what? And I think he like peaked at 2,000 at the time, and I was like, whoa, like you can. And I thought it was so cool. I was like, oh, and it looked like he was having fun, and like he was like really responsive whenever like people would talk to him, and I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like you can stream it, and two, like I didn't know about like one person streaming and then people watching, because I would just watch tournaments all the time of like Smash, and I was just
Right.
like, yeah. And then the RA, like the RA of the dorm I was living in, had a copy of Monkey Ball, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen someone speedrun this." It was Monkey Ball 1. Little did I know it was like the hardest one to learn at first. Like it
And
took
that's
me
how the legend was born.
yeah, I mean basically like I would play it all the time. Like I would like not even like focus on school anymore. It was just me playing this game like all the time because it was like really fun. And I was playing Smash too, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I was also like playing tennis, also like on like a team and stuff. But that also took up a lot of time. So it was like all of that stuff. Like I was just trying to like figure that out, and but I didn't really like play as much tennis or Smash anymore. I just like continued with Monkey Ball, and I guess that's where I am right now with the game. But
Nice.
yeah, one thing that like kept me going was like when I got accepted for AGDQ 2018. There's no
Yeah, that's
way.
awesome.
Yeah, I was really surprised that I actually got accepted because I just like submitted like on a whim.
And speaking of GDQ, you're also going to be at GDQX, right?
Yes.
Doing a master run.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a master run, so it's gonna be a little more difficult than my AGDQ run since I had beginner and advanced to like technically warm up with. I got all the nerves out of the way in beginner, pretty
Yeah.
sure, and advanced. So and then expert just like went like perfectly somehow.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
My experience is kind of similar with that, where I didn't really get on Twitch very much. I didn't really find the point of it. Just like watching variety streams, that just didn't really get to me. But it was Melee and stuff like that that kind of brought me into Twitch more. And then I think it was Summer Games Done Quick 2014, something like that. And I saw all these people running, and I was like, oh, this is super cool. And I spent like the entire week watching it whenever I found out. And and then I got into Twitch. Yeah, same.
I would just like watch her run and be like, oh, this is like really funny, and I just love looking at the chat.
Yeah.
They would do some just crazy mind-boggling stuff, like TaskBot would just do all this crazy arbitrary code execution stuff, and it blew my mind. And I was like, wow, this is intense.
Yeah, like for me, it was like, I used to be heavily into League of Legends, and like I would keep up with like a lot of the League streamers. And then I remember on the front page of Twitch, I see, like featured games, Mario 64. And I'm like, what? It's like, 20, whatever, I think like 2014 as well. I was like, why is this game? How popular was
it back in the day?
This was back when Siglemic was running, and he was getting like, I don't even remember the exact numbers, but thousands of viewers. And I was just shocked that, like people are watching the game. I didn't know that it was speedrunning until I clicked on the channel and saw that, these guys that were running the game were doing these insane tricks that I never knew were even possible.
Yeah, sometimes people have a lot of viewers just because like they're really good at variety.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what the heck, speedrunning?
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy. But GDQ, you said you're doing GDQX.
Yeah, TwitchCon.
Yeah.
So that's in like, man, that's like my flight's in like 12 days. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, kind of stressed, but I'm excited at the same time,
You got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like making plans like with where I'm staying and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I have like the Airbnb set. It's just like, I think maybe like what I want to do outside of TwitchCon as well, since I'm going to be there the whole time.
Yeah. Is your run in the morning?
It's 3 p.m. over there, so I'm like the second run of the event, so I'm like don't really have to have the practice.
Commentary?
The thing is, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be talking that much, so I really want someone to have that can at least like support me with talking, and I don't really know who is good at commentary. They don't have to be knowledgeable about the game, but they just have to like see what's going on, and like always keeping the dead spots at least. I mean, maybe like there are times maybe I need to focus and don't really need someone to talk. Like some levels that have like precision type things, like maybe floor 32. Like there's like that little thin line at the end that I have to like do a like really sharp turn to and not fall off. Shout out to Keto for talking during that story.
But yeah, I was gonna say one of the things from the last round. Sorry, don't mean to uncover old wounds or whatever. You
don't have to like put this in the recording.
But yeah, I remember in your AGQ run, some of the criticisms of the run, but the gameplay was great. It's just that it wasn't that much
commentary. Yeah, that's the thing. Like maybe I should practice my commentary, but if I do, I don't know if I could have good gameplay. So
I would say don't sacrifice gameplay for commentary.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
yeah,
I mean, I want to show. I feel like I don't think I really showed enough of my personality, but it's kind of hard with a game like this.
Yeah, you gotta focus so much on what's actually happening. You can't really just talk and express your can't really tell stories while you're doing frame perfect inputs.
Yeah. There's a lot of frames, but it's like I feel like there's a lot of frames that work, like not work, but like I know like a lot of backups and stuff, and I know like I've seen a lot of the situations in the game where I can adjust, but there's always that what if situation, like if something I've never seen happens and I don't know how to react to it. So I'm probably gonna need to practice like a little bit more before the event, especially since I'm the first event. I need to make sure like I'm on top of it.
Yeah. So speaking of practice, like how do you usually go about doing that? Like do you just usually warm up before a run, or do you set aside days to where you just grind out certain levels?
I actually don't really play the game that much off stream. I feel like I should, but I ever since like I started streaming the game, I would just stream it all the time and not really practice off stream. I'd maybe practice on stream a bit, but I feel like sometimes when I practice, it psychs me out too. Because remember, sometimes I didn't practice that much and I would get a good run, but sometimes I just like do all the floors for like hours, but like I start doing runs and I can't get anywhere. So that's like one of the most frustrating things sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard for me to like think about ways to practice for this game now. I have to be really creative. I think I need to like make it maybe a little bit more fun, I guess. But I mean, I'm doing what I can. Like also like I think it's really important not to like play the game that much now. Like before I had to. Like,
Right.
I mean, I didn't have to, but like I have to like I'm at the point where like I know how to execute everything. Not I mean most things.
Do you feel that like practicing a lot interferes with your muscle memory sometimes?
I think it does and doesn't. I feel like I just psych myself out. Like I just think about a level like, oh, I've done this like 100 times, but like in practice. But I do the level and I just mess up the way that I messed up like the last. Because sometimes I would mess it up in the run, go to practice mode, do it every time, go to the run, and I still can't do it. And it's like, wait, what was
the
the point?
timer there?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
timer, and it's just all in my head, you know. Speedrunning's so mental, and so like you just gotta like block it out. But I don't know. I should try different things.
So how would you like approach the game mentally? Like, do you like do some sort of like internal like pep talk, or do you do like breathing exercises? Like what do you think you need to do to like maintain a good mentality while speedrunning?
Honestly, I don't really have much of a like pre-game type thing for speedrunning. I just like tell myself like, all right, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try to get some runs going, and some days it works, some days it doesn't. But I mean, that's how it is now. Like, especially like I took like a 2-month break because I like was on a trip.
Right.
And I came back, like I realized, oh, I got someone overtook me, and now I have to do a run. Like, and now I have to like really like get a good run now because like my run has like a big 14-second time save, which is a lot for like at the end of the run.
Yeah.
So one of the things I might need to do is like maybe make new splits or something, because with the splits I have now, all my time saves at the end. So it's like, oh, I have to put it together. Like, it's not like I have no time save, like, but like now it's like, oh, I have to play really well for like, I don't know, 13 minutes, and then on top of that, play really well at the end too. So sometimes like I think I need some time save like in the middle or something. So it's like not as much pressure.
Do you know about the balanced like PB that you can run against?
Balance.
using,
Yeah, I've seen that, but I think for my splits, when I tried doing, maybe I tried doing average, and it was like really weird average. It said like over 2 hours, and I was like, so maybe I'll look into the balance. I've seen that, but I don't know if I don't know. Like I don't even think if I made it balanced, it would even make it better. I feel like just making new splits to run against. But
both those ideas are pretty good. So both those ideas are pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's either that or I mean, there's plenty of times when I've got a time that tied my last time, so I've tied my PB like twice or 3 times. I mean, I don't know. And there were multiple times where I could have like PB'd and I like die right at the end, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I'm in the grind phase in Snap right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen you play some Snaps.
Yeah, I took a break for a while, but my boy Calcium Lemon.
Breaks are good.
Yeah, it is good. My boy Calcium
Breaks are
Lemon
good.
overtook me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Press F to pay respects.
He put the work in. He was doing it. He was
Yeah.
doing Snap runs like
He was streaming
5
a
times
lot.
a week. Yeah. So
But
he definitely
yeah.
put the work in, and he passed me up. But now I'm like, man, I'm running against the game, my own splits, and I'm like, I lose a second for no reason. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like making a tiny mistake now to a normal person, it would be like, wait, why did you get mad? You still like finished. You still like are able to continue the run, but like
Yeah.
every
those comments.
second like counts. Like
Yeah.
One
And-
thing for sure is like whenever you start speed running, like you have all these time saves and you just don't understand why like the top tier runners, like why they get angry over that, tiny mistake.
Mhm.
Like in Mario, if you miss a rollout, like, it'll cost you some time. And you'll see streamers like, shout out to Lunar Jump, just get like, really
I
angry.
think,
it's-
I think, yeah,
It just all adds up. Like it really does. Like whenever you're running against a time that's like super optimized.
oh yeah, for sure. That's what I was hoping to say. Like since like you don't have a lot of room for error anymore, making any mistake is basically like run over, and you kind of at a certain point you don't want to make any mistakes, and you want the run to look a certain way. So like sometimes like if I don't get something that I want to get, and I like die on it, it's like, oh, like this one is like invalid to me anymore. Like I can still get a good time, but I miss what I wanted to get. It's like I don't know, that mentality like helps me, or like sometimes like cost some runs that could possibly be good. So it's like, oh, but at the same time, like since my time is so good, like I mean, it's not like the time that I want, like my end goal time. So it's like I still want to improve. So
I always hate kind of comments that are like, "Oh, you still got like really close. That was still a really good time. It's still top 10
Yeah.
time, whatever." It's like, I don't care. It's not sub meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't
Yeah.
PB or this, like, I lost a second here. And it's like, oh, you still got a great time. It's like, I don't care. I don't care that I got a
Yeah.
great time. I wanted a better time. I wanted the perfect time. And it wasn't perfect. And I messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no run that's perfect, but you want to run like getting everything that you know how to do. And that's probably like those types of runs that just like you can look back and be like, okay, I finally did everything I wanted with this run,
Yeah.
But there are times where like people figure out new stuff and then you have to add it, and it's like, and maybe you would want to come back, but that's another talk about, I guess.
So like how often do you complete a run or do like a no reset? And do you think that's important to do?
So with
at your
this
level?
game, no resets are kind of like the only time I do a no reset is if I haven't really played the game like for a long, long time. Like even though I took a 2-month break, I still think I still knew like, I mean, I played like the game a little bit like when I was overseas, so it's like I still have like, and I was watching some people play it too, so I still have like,
You're
like,
still in the
kept
know.
it
You have the
fresh.
muscle memory.
yeah, still got the muscle memory, still know like all the strats and stuff. And I don't think like I need to wait, what was the question? I like blanked out what I was saying.
I remember the exact question.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
neither.
with no reset. That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, no reset.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the problem with no resetting Monkey Ball 1 Master, like the main category I run, is you have to go through 50 levels without losing 3 lives, basically. And it's like if you want to do everything fast, there's a lot of strats that, that aren't 100% consistent that you need for a good time.
Yeah. Do you have
So-
to beat the entire game again every time to do a master run?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
only like,
So I see that could be a problem because you have to play well to get to the end.
yeah, and you have to go to extra without continuing as well. So you have to go to extra. I mean, obviously, without continuing. Once you do lives, or you can. Well, you start off with 2, but you get 1 life in the run. So like around like the 30s, the 30 levels, you'll probably receive a life, and then and then to get to master, you need to not die also. So, and I think there was a new glitch that was discovered that basically allows you to skip the first 50 levels and you can practice extra and master. But it's the glitch is garbage. You have to wait 30 seconds to do it. You do a pause buffer strat that's like, it's not even like, I mean, I don't even know how anyone would figure that out. But I just think I don't really like practicing like that, but sometimes I have, like when my master had extra split where I just can't get past it.
Is that part of the run? Like,
It's not. It's
Okay.
a separate category.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking about like, oh, I kind of want to show that off at HDQ, but after my run, I couldn't speak. I was like, what did I just do?
So, how did it feel like doing a run in front of like thousands of people, or like tens of thousands,
Pretty-
hundreds of thousands of people watching online?
When I started, I was super nervous. Like you could tell if you
Yeah.
watched the beginning of my run, I made a mistake on like the second level of the game. But after that mistake, I just felt like I was streaming like at home, and it just felt like, if I can, it felt like it just felt like I was like at home playing the game, and it didn't really feel like there was that many people watching me. It just felt like I was streaming. And I mean, there was clapping and stuff, but like, yeah, like the only problem with Monkey Ball 2 for commentary is with Monkey Ball 1, they clap after every single level. Like, there's no downtime to like talk, I feel like.
Right.
So that's another problem if like you have a couch that doesn't have a lot of like,
Loud or just chatty people.
yeah, chatty people. And that's kind of what I want with this next one, but I feel like I'm going to have a little trouble finding someone like that would
I'm
want
sure there's
to.
someone at the event who knows.
I'm
what
sure there
Monkey
is.
Ball
I'm sure there is, but it's going to be a little tough since I'm one of the first runs. So I need to hop on my Twitter game.
I'm about to say you should
and-
probably tweet it out and be like, "Yo, I need some
I need
couch
to-
people."
I need some high energy couch people for my, my speed ran. But yeah. It was quite the experience. I mean, CC was there too the night before the run.
Yep,
He,
I remember.
I barely got any sleep and Lemon woke me up. He saved the run.
Yeah, Lemon saved HDQ
Yeah, he saved HDQ. Because I would've
mainly
slept.
because
The
Zella
unsung
was
hero.
like super hardcore asleep. And I think you even set an alarm, but you slept through it. But Lemon's also
Yeah.
set an alarm for himself, and then he gets up and he's like, Zella, get up, buddy. You got a run to do. And then you get up, you look at Lemon, and Lemon's like thumbs up, and you're like, mm-hmm. And then you go back to sleep. And he's like, Zella.
Oh, that was so funny.
We had a good
But
time with GDK.
Yeah, I'm excited I registered for next week, so I'm excited.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. So do
Yep.
we.
Nice. I'm gonna. Hopefully, I can chill with you guys. Maybe CJ, dude. If you are you going to TwitchCon?
He's not going to TwitchCon, he's going to HDQ.
Dude, if I was running it, I wish I submitted for HGDQ instead, but I don't think they would. I mean, they could have. They could have accepted me again if they accepted me for GDQX. You are not going. Damn.
He's not going, so it's
Oh,
not confirmed
not
not going.
Yeah. Yeah, the TwitchCon just sent me my ticket, so now I have a nice TwitchCon badge
Nice.
next
Nice.
to me. Yeah.
Feels good, man.
Get the hard plastic,
Feels
it's
good.
like it's in your hands, like it's real. It's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Once I get to the event and I can get my badges, I'm curious what it's gonna look like. It's probably just gonna be like a Twitch symbol and my name. That's it. I like the AGDQ badges. They look really cool.
Mhm.
I have my runner badge. I'm like, badge looks awesome.
It makes me think that the GDQX badge might be cool. I don't know if it's gonna be
Oh.
the same as TwitchCon.
I hope so. I would hope so, but it's TwitchCon, it's NormieCon.
Yeah, you're
No,
right. You're
I
right.
mean,
No, it's gonna be
that's-
like 90% normies. You're right.
it's just gonna be like Fortnite on it and PUBG.
Oof.
I'm gonna put some League on my badge. They're not even gonna show like any freaking.
Do some Fortnite
You will.
speedruns real quick.
Yeah, let me hop on Fortnite speedruns. Speedrunslive.com.
Besides Monkey Ball, what do you play? Do you play anything in particular?
I've been trying to get into some other
Battlerite.
games. Yeah, I got Squiddy into Battlerite recently.
Yeah, and
you
I
got
got
me
some-
into Battlerite.
Fun game. It's
It is pretty dope.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
bad at it. I mean,
Same.
I think like but recently I've been playing a lot of DDR.
Ooh,
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
how
playing-
good are you at DDR?
I mean, what do you define as good, Squiddy?
Like, do you use the bar?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No,
Bar.
like what difficulty?
I mean, some
do you
people
play
that
on?
are really good don't use the bar. What difficulty? So I've been trying to like score higher with lower difficulties, like get
Mhm.
better scores, but I can clear like 17.
Oh damn.
Like,
I never got
um,
into DDR. I don't really understand the appeal of it. Maybe because I'm not very light on my feet, but
Yeah, no, I tried DDR at SGDQ, and it was not pretty. Like my
well,
knees
that
were
version,
just like
that version is really
destroyed.
difficult. That version's really hard. But I can show you some DDR if you want at AGD if you go. I actually have some videos on my computer that can up. I made a YouTube channel recently.
nice.
Finally, after
Zella
13 years.
DDR.
Nah, I just call it Zella Uno. I don't know what to call it. I can change. I can make a new one, but I don't.
You can just change the name of the current
Yeah,
channel. Not a
I
big deal.
could. I could do that too. But yeah, I've been thinking about making some YouTube stuff too, putting some Twitch stuff and just random stuff that I want to do, seeing what content would work well on YouTube. But I mean, I shouldn't
What-
think about the future, but
Well, I mean, you should think about the future at some point.
I mean,
but
Yeah.
I need to start it first. Like
that's
get
fair.
some.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gotta get the ball rolling.
'Cause if
You
I
can't just
think-
talk about it forever.
I think I have a problem where I think about like what I want to do and stuff, and I just never get it done. So I need to
I know
Just
it's
force
do it.
myself. Yeah, I need to force myself to start it and not worry about how to start.
There's
You know-
I think there's like I don't know. I'm not a scientist, obviously. So, but I believe that whenever you tell somebody like I'm going to do something, or like you have plans to do something, that like your brain gets the satisfaction of doing the thing. Like half the fun
Without
is
having to
planning
do it.
Right.
Yeah,
You're like, man, I'm going to go on a diet
Yeah.
next week. It's so great, and everyone's like, oh man, that's super cool. I hope it goes really well for you. Like that's half of like the satisfaction of doing it, and then you can just not do
Yeah.
it. Like when the going gets tough,
yeah.
you're just like, nah, I don't want to do it anymore.
Definitely
especially
guilty of
if
that.
especially if like you have other distractions. I feel like that's the big thing. Like there's other stuff that you want to at that point in time. Like you don't want to do what you planned like months ago or like a week ago or like a day ago. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like how you're gonna feel the next day. So it's like
Right.
But you still have to be able to plan for the future.
yeah,
So
you
it's
do,
like,
you
for us,
do.
we're
But like for
looking
like
at,
the hobby stuff and the stuff like you think won't really like you think it will work out, but then you think like it's something that you don't really need. It's something you want,
right.
Yeah, like from personal experience, anytime I did something like life changing, like it was always just like on a whim.
Spur of the moment.
Like I went on
Yeah.
a diet like on a whim. I just decided, all right, I am not going to eat certain foods. I'm going to like try to lose weight and get in shape. And like, I've tried before where, I'd like plan out like, all right, next week, I'll start by doing blah, blah, blah. And then next week would come around and I'm like still, eating like tubs of ice cream, drinking gallons of sweet tea. Like I just kind of like had a moment where I saw myself in the mirror and it was like just at that moment, I was like, all right, I'm done. And then from like then on, I just like went on a diet
It's awesome.
and it worked out pretty well. So
Yeah.
Yes, I was looking at them selfies in your Discord. Okay.
Our
I was
first
like,
our
"Cool,
first
okay."
unofficial speed talk episode was done in 6 days.
yeah,
Oh
Um,
wow!
Yeah, it was the
Nice.
week before SGDQ, and it was the 10th anniversary of the oldest recorded Pokemon Snap speedrun. And I went to CJ, and we had been talking. I think by that time, by the time we hadn't signed the contracts. Okay, so we hadn't even started like our streamer group stuff. Like it was all done on good faith, and it was like a week or two before SGDQ, and I said, "Hey, the thing's coming up. I kind of want to do a video for it." And he's just like, "Let's knock it out. Like, don't worry about it. We're gonna do it right now." And so we sat down, and I had already done most of the research for it. So I was able to just sort of regurgitate most of that stuff, put it on in a script. We wrote a script that night, I think, and I think like the next night we recorded half of the audio, and the next night we did the other half, and then I sent him all the runs, and all the audio, and he just assembled the video really quickly, and it turned out really good. So spur of the moment is definitely powerful.
So
spontaneity.
Yeah, I remember one time I had a spur of the moment. One of my childhood friends was like, "Oh, you play Smash? Let me follow you around tournaments and stuff and record you and stuff." And I was like, "Yo, that sounds like a really cool idea and stuff." And we did that the whole summer, right? But he never dropped the video, and it's been like over 2 years, pretty sure. So I'm like, my whole summer, I want like a video of that stuff, and I try to tell him, but it's hard. It's hard when you have someone that's like, he's like a film major, right? But he has some video game background, but I don't feel like he's not really that passionate about it. So I feel like you need to be kind of passionate about something if you really want to get something done.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird too when you think about it. It was like the whole summer, right? We spent the whole summer on this, and he still hasn't. It's been 2 years. I just want to see footage.
Go find that footage. Go to his house. Knock on his door.
Dude, I don't even know where he lives anymore. He moves all over. I see Facebook, and he's like, "Oh, I'm here." Like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm doing this film thing." I'm like, I'm posting like, "Yo, drop the videos. Like, send me it." No reply. I'm like, dude, what do you want from me? How can we get this? How can I get it through to your head that it's been 2 years, And like you have other projects. I can understand like, oh, it's a hobby. It's like a fun project, and like he has his other projects, But he can just like slap it all together. It doesn't need to be perfect.
He could just send you the raw footage, and then you could find
exactly.
I think we told him multiple times, but I don't know if he has it or who has it. And I don't even know if we made a group for it. It was like at first it seemed like it was organized, and then it just stopped all of a sudden. Kind of sad, but
it happens.
we'll see. We'll see if it'll ever happen. It's like Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's definitely difficult to find someone who's as passionate as you are about like on a certain thing. Like, I've been doing music for a long time, and it's like always hard to find that one group of people that's gonna be like on the same page with you all the time, and like
that's what the internet. That's what the internet's for.
Yeah, the internet definitely helps.
Yeah,
and I feel like the whole speedrunning community is kind of like that, where it's just a bunch of passionate people willing to help each other out, and like just like
that's like one of the things.
CC, someone else who's like passionate, about speedrunning. It's it just worked out really well.
Yeah.
To like even get into this position where we can do a podcast and stuff. Like, it's awesome. It's refreshing, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the cool things is like everyone's so passionate in the speedrunning community, and so we've been doing these speed doc episodes, right? But we need to reach out to the communities to sort of get the ball rolling, because we need their help to make these videos.
Yeah,
because we also want them to be involved in making the video, because it makes it a better product. But like, even I think I'll say just today I reached out to someone, to a community, and I was like, "Hey guys, have you guys ever thought about making your own thing?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, we thought about it. We totally want to do one, but we haven't really put all that effort into it and stuff." It's like they have the passion, they have the knowledge, but they don't really have like the time or resources do that sort of thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, we do have the time and resources, and you have the information. So like, let's work together. Let's collaborate. Let's help each other out here, because we want the video to come out. You want the video to come out. You know, we could do this. We can be a team and do that.
Yeah, that was one of the most refreshing things about AGDQ. You can talk to literally anyone. And you can you realize like, oh, they love the same thing that you do.
Yeah.
You know? You can basically get along. You know, and that's one of the things that I didn't really have before. Like, I never really met people that, you know, I had some friends that are into the same thing, but, you know, they come and go. They always think like, oh, like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Like, I remember when I used to play tennis, right? A lot of people quit, you know, and it's like, not everyone thinks about, you know, I want to play professional. I want to play for college. I want to play this. You end up like being kind of left out with like society. I mean, I feel like that's how I kind of felt. Like I was kind of left out. Like, oh, like I enjoy playing tennis and I enjoy, you know, the competition, but
yeah, you enjoy the struggle of improvement.
The struggle improvement, but the social aspect just wasn't there. And when I did go on a team, I didn't really feel like, I mean, we had tennis and, you know, but we didn't really have anything else. But with speedrunning, like, it's speedrunning, but like, there's so many different ways you can go about it and talk about it. And like, it's a bigger spectrum. I mean, it's, maybe, it feels like you can get into something else instead of like, oh, you're into just one thing. That's
a much bigger pool.
Yeah. So it's like
one thing I've noticed is that with like other speedrunners, we have a lot more in common than just video games or speedrunning.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like musicians and like people that are into music and, you know, just like all sorts of things that I never would have, you know, imagined.
I've met more people who are also teachers through speedrunning than any other like not work, not with, you know, Twitch, just streaming stuff, not with anything else. All the speedrunning stuff. I've met more people who are teachers than anything else. And I don't understand why that's such a big, you know, overlap, but it's weird.
I mean, people like to be teachers. I think speedrunning makes you a teacher and a student. I mean, you're a student of the game and then you end up teaching it, you know? So why not be a teacher? That's what fair. That's what I think like a lot of people have in mind when they're like doing stuff like speedrunning. You're always improving.
Having the experience of being like a music teacher like definitely helped me sort of develop like a way to learn the game or a way to explain the game, because like just the other day I had to teach how to run 16 star. And like to me, it was just like, oh yeah, this is like another day at work, you know. I'm just like giving him like explaining the game to him like the same way I would explain learning guitar or piano to one of my students. There's something about speedrunning that just opens you up and like makes you happy to share. And what I also like about speedrunning is that even though it's competitive, everyone's pretty much a good sport. I rarely hear of someone like having bad blood because, you know, they were like, you know, taken over on the leaderboards. It's like,
oh, I've said some horrible things after being someone's time. No. But it's all in good fun, you know, like that's
it doesn't not, feel no like one... you're no, for sure.
But on the topic of like teaching, I think well, I have some like tennis, you know, like back a couple of years ago I would do this like summer camp and like but I would like teach like little kids, you know, like how to play. And I just remember like, oh man, like this is really hard, you know, like little kids like having them to like listen to you and stuff. Like that was the biggest problem. Like it has to be fun. But like teaching someone about speedrunning, I feel like like on Twitch, like most people like are knowledge, like they're like at least old enough to like, you know, listen and maybe, you know, like retain the information instead of like when I was teaching like younger kids. Like it's more about having fun, you know. So
So about that, like whenever I do, guitar lessons, a lot of the kids that come in, they don't want to be there. It's their
Oh, yeah.
parents that are making
Yeah.
them, take the lessons, and they're like the toughest ones to teach because, they're not going to pay attention as much as the kid who wants to learn. And
Yeah.
like with speedrunning, you're talking to people who want to improve
Want to
their
learn.
time. Exactly.
Yeah.
They feel passionate about learning the game and getting better at it. And I think that's really the foundation of getting good at speedruns is you actually want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something that you could be doing something else, but you're spending your time like hours and hours like grinding the same levels over and over and over and over just so that you can beat it fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think like what kind of surprised me about when I first started is I would like watch the videos and stuff of like people that were really good at the game, and then I would always be so surprised when like they would stop by and be like, "Hey, like good luck," and so I'm like, "Wait,
Oh, yeah.
you're the world record holder," or "Wait, you're
Yeah.
this," or "Wait, you're that." I'm like, oh my god. Like I just remember being so nervous the first time, and then like later on we like talk like normally, and it's like you just realize they're just like people just like you,
Yeah.
just it's kind of crazy, and it's like I'm really glad I was able to meet everyone like that I've met so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still want to meet more people do speedrunning
Yeah.
as well.
Those kinds of interactions are, I think, what make speedrunning so cool for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Because when I first started speedrunning, again, I started with Super Mario Sunshine, and I had just started streaming back then, so I didn't really have I didn't have a viewer base. I think I'd never got like any viewers. I got like 3 comments or 3 chatters ever.
Dude,
like,
same.
over like a year.
Yeah.
Oh god, those were the
And-
hardest.
I know.
feel
Those are so hard just
hard.
playing by yourself. And I streamed Sunshine for like a year, and I had no real viewership, no interaction, nothing. And I had no one from the community outreach to me or anything like that. And then I switched to Pokemon Snap, and like the first or second day I'm streaming that game, like the world record holder, the guy who made the tutorial that I was watching, and like a couple other community members all showed up, and they're like, "Hey, good luck out there. Here's some tips and stuff like that."
That's awesome.
And I was just like, "This is awesome. This is so much better." And they're like, "Hey, join our Discord. Check us out." And I think that's one of the reasons why I stuck with Snap way longer, or a lot more than any other community, is that people reached out to me, to be nice and be cool community people, without me going out of my way. I didn't know anything about anyone else. They just showed up to me, and that really made it a cool experience. And I took that to heart, and I always try to do the same thing. Where
Yeah. That's
It
how I
goes-
met you, man.
yeah. You'll see me like all the time in everyone's chat. If I'm always on Twitch, not always on Twitch, but I'm on Twitch often, and I always check the Pokemon Snap directory. Is anyone running this game? Is anyone even playing this game? If I see anyone
I
who's
know the
doing runs,
feeling. I always check like Monkey Ball directory, and it's always dead, but like there's always that one person that randomly plays it, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh, it's
Yeah, every
usually
once in
like,
a while.
oh, this is casual. It's casual.
yeah,
Don't
you're not
really
wrong. I
care.
do see a lot of casual stuff, but every once in a while you're like, oh, new speedrunner. This is it. This is our time, and you jump in. And you're like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, yo, like I get a lot of times people are like, yo, dude, I watched your guides. I was like, awesome, man. Well, I'm
Yep.
here in person,
think,
so ask me questions.
Yeah, I had that one time too. There was this guy who was really good at Splatoon, but he started playing Monkey Ball 1 on stream. And then I came in the stream like, hey, yo, good luck. Because he was like trying to get the master. And he's like, wait, I saw your AGDQ run. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, you're like mini famous,
Mini.
Yeah.
Not really.
You know what I mean? But you're like you had that mini celebrity status for just a second, right?
Yeah.
You walk into a
Yeah,
a
that's the
room,
biggest
you walk up
thing
to a
about,
stranger
like-
and they know who you are. That's like that mini celebrity status.
That's
One time
That's the thing that
somebody
got in my
recognized
head.
me.
That
I was
gets
at
in my head a
HGQ.
lot. It's like, man, I wonder if I walked outside IRL, if some random person came up to me and be like, yo, I saw your HGDQ. What?
That would be
But
pretty
then-
crazy.
Yeah, I think one of my friends that like has a big following from like being a DJ now, people like
Mhm.
recognize him like around like the area he lives. So it's like it's kind of crazy like how the internet like can spread like stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool at the same time.
Yeah, at SGDQ, we went to lunch, and then I was like standing in line for food, and some guy was like, "Yo, CC." I was like, "What? Who are you?" He's like, "It's me, the Flying Marlin." I was like, "I know that name. You've been in chat before. What's going on?"
Yeah. The cool thing is like, yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying that it was SGDQ, so I mean everyone was there, so it wasn't like out in nowhere, but you
I'm
know,
so sad I wasn't able to go.
it's all good, man. There's always more
But-
events.
There is. But I mean, there was like this one monkey ball runner from Japan that came, and he's not gonna be able to come like to the States again for a while. So it's like, now I have to try to go to Japan. But there's there's actually RTA in Japan. I was like,
Yeah,
I was thinking about maybe submitting for that. That'd be kind of cool.
that'd be dope.
Hell yeah, dude! I want to go to Japan someday.
Yeah, my friend is actually like wants to go, and he's like, you need to save this much money. I'm like, dude, I'm doing so many. I'm doing like TwitchCon. I'm going to GDQ, and some friends want to go to Evo. I'm like, oh god, there's too many things happening. I don't know. I want to say yes to everything, like I do, but like, I don't know. I mean, I might as well like try to do as much as I can while I'm still a young boy.
Yep, before you have to really buckle down and be an adult. But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to stretch yourself too thin, or stretch your money too thin. You know, if you're not making like big bucks, then you can barely afford it. I mean, maybe one of those has to go on the back burner.
Fortunately, yep. But yeah, there's always you can always do it later. But I always hate saying that because you never think about it later. Because I mean, you think about it, but it's like, oh, it's too late. But there's always time. There's always time.
We were going with something, and I forgot what we were going with.
I went
Oh,
on a
RTA in Japan. You had mentioned.
Oh
something.
yeah.
Were you going to go anywhere else with that, or?
I mean, I've watched some of them like run in RTA Japan. I don't know if they've done
Yeah.
Monkey Ball, so I'm curious. And there's been some foreign runners I know that have went, but I don't know who they were. But sounds like a fun little experience. The only problem is I need to learn some more Japanese. I've taken a couple Japanese classes, but that's probably to. I think the biggest thing about learning languages is like going there and actually speaking.
Yeah.
Being immersed in it is definitely one of the big things.
If you don't
Yeah.
have a reason to use a language every day, you're gonna like lose a lot of it very fast.
Oh yeah.
Like
How's that way with Spanish?
yeah, my Polish even has gotten like really rusty because like all I do is like talk to my parents in Polish, and like half of the time I like splice in English words, so it's like
You
You
should
know,
make your
not
stream
legitimate
Polish.
Polish. I thought about like adding the Polish tag and just
Dude,
seeing
you-
what would happen.
You
Just,
probably
like-
would get some Polish viewers.
It happens, man. There was one stream we were in. I think it was, I don't know if it was Lemon Stream or somebody else or.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was.
Shuli's? It was RJ's. Yeah, it was Notorious Armor.
Yeah, it was his stream, and then this guy's like talking Polish, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, he's like, I just want to see how people react to me not speaking English." And I was like, "What?" But then I made him follow, so it was all good.
That's
You
I was
better
like,
follow.
yeah, I was like in Polish. I was like, dude, just at least follow the guy, you know?
Yeah.
You're giving him like
You're over here terrorizing him. Not what I
You
mean.
better follow.
And I think I told you like the other day, Zella, like I was
Mhm.
streaming and then I got like not rated, but like targeted by a bunch of like Polish trolls. They just started like talking shit about me in Polish.
Oh
on
my
the stream,
god.
Not knowing that I know what they're saying. So
Oh
I'm like,
my god.
I'm like
that's
reading
so
all this
funny.
happen. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I like start talking to them in Polish. And
I
they're
don't
like,
remember you ever saying
Pop champ, this guy knows Polish. What the hell? Lol.
Pole champ.
Yeah,
Pole
and then like, And then like they keep like going about stuff. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm just gonna start banning y'all. Thanks for watching. Like, you know, 'cause they just like
Yeah, I don't think I ever had that issue where someone would speak another language, but that's funny.
Yeah,
Gosh.
it's too good.
And not the fact they're anonymous, like, oh yeah, we can just talk freely about
Yeah.
this guy and he'll never know. It's like it's such a weird concept, but people love doing it.
Yeah, the internet's a weird place, man.
Indeed.
It's
Yeah,
a
people
weird.
do it.
It's like weird, but there's like really cool people. At this.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
like
The internet is people, and people are both cool and weird. So
yeah, we're like
Mostly
part
weird.
of the part of the generation that grew up with the internet. So like, it's like like pretty interesting thinking about like, you know, all these kids who grew up like messaging each other on message boards and like, you know, all this stuff, like how communication has changed so radically. And like, you know, you try to like explain to like your parents, you know, something that's going on in the internet and they're just completely lost
Yeah, they're like, what?
because it's like a foreign language.
to this day, my parents don't understand what streaming is. Like, I keep trying to explain it to them because I'm doing this thing
Yeah.
with CJ, and they're just like, so people watch you play video games?
Dude, I hate. Okay, you
You'd
know
be
what? I
surprised.
stopped.
People love it.
I stopped telling people that I do this. I'm like, this is so fucking annoying.
Just gave up on it.
I
They're like,
can't
they
cuss,
pay you
but,
money? I'm like, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, like I just tell my parents like, "Hey, I'm going live on the internet, so
I don't even tell. Just do it.
I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm gonna be busy."
Yeah.
And
My
then,
parents
like-
don't understand even what I do. I'm like, I do speedrun stuff, and they're like, okay. And like they always like just yesterday, they were having breakfast, and we had someone over. One of their friends was over from out of town, and they were having breakfast with us at our house. And I come downstairs, and I'm getting breakfast stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, and Cameron here. He goes online and he gives people tips on how to play video games better, and I'm like, that is not really what I do at all.
I would cringe so hard.
They're asking me questions like, oh, you just play video games and people ask you for tips? I'm like, that's not how this works at all. But
Dude, this is why I want another hobby that I'm really good at. So it's like,
Easier to explain.
yeah, it's like, oh, like you're good at, singing, right? So yeah, there's that. Like, I kind of just want this to be another life. Like, I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
my
just
life.
don't tell anybody. Just, oh yeah,
I think I
play
started
tennis
telling people.
online.
Yeah, that. But I started telling people, and then they were like, "Oh, that sounds so cool." And then it's like talking to a brick wall. It's like, wait, how could they understand what you're saying? Like, you don't have a video. You don't have. I mean, I could show them a video, but then it still would be like confusing if like you never played it. There's a lot of factors,
Mhm.
But I think with Monkey Ball, it's kind of easy to understand. You just roll the ball.
Yeah.
But there's some technical things like pause buffering. But other than that, I don't really think.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to sit my parents down and show them what a stream looks like.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about putting my mom on stream. I really was, but there's a lot of. I think my chat says a lot of bad language, and I do too. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want my parents like watching
Yeah.
my stream.
Yeah,
Even though like
that's
I
right.
don't do anything that's like necessarily bad. It's just like kind of awkward.
I've said
You know,
some
just,
horrible things on stream, so I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
like I've said, like some things that they probably wouldn't want to hear, but like
I would need to have like a 50 mods like moderating my chat that I'll trust. Even still, all my mods I don't even trust. Like, come on.
poor spin.
Poor
Spitty.
Spitty.
I've known Spitty for like a year and he just trolls me all the time. Like, I love him, but like, dude, just be normal. He's
Be
not
a
normal,
normal guy.
but I love him. He's my baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like my dad came up to me, he's like, yeah, there's this guy named Ninja who makes like a lot of money, doing that streaming thing that you do. Why don't you make that much money? And I'm like, well, you see, I don't play Fortnite.
Oh, you're right. Let me just
I'm not that
let me just
good.
make the decision to make that much money.
Yeah, it's like I think like you can't go into streaming like expecting it to be an income source.
Yeah.
Like you just can't. If it happens, it's great, But like
Yeah.
you can't expect to go in and just like start making bank.
Yeah, a lot of the success is based on just like opportunity and luck.
Mhm.
You know, it's
There's
not.
a
It's
lot
not
of
us-
luck involved.
You can grind like 5 days a week. 8 hours a stream.
Yeah.
You put in that 40 hours a week, King, and sometimes that just doesn't pan out. And
Right.
sometimes people stream like there was one guy. He's still streaming. His name is 88-Bit Music. I know him through my friend Danimal Sounds, and then they are IRL friends, right? And this guy 88-Bit, he's a piano player, and he's also he does sight reading. I think it's what it's called.
Mhm.
Essentially, he never sees the sheet music until like it's
So
handed.
improv.
Yeah,
piano
he can
improv.
play
Yeah.
it like by sight. Doesn't have to know it or practice it beforehand. He can just kind of
Mhm.
play it as it goes. And he did music for Disney. Like whenever they would do like recordings and auditions, he would be
Oh,
the
wow.
guy to play the music, and because they could just hand him a sheet of like, hey, we just put out we're putting out a new movie, and here's one of the songs. Just here, play this. And he's like, okay,
Oh.
cool. And he sits down and does it. But he's a fantastic piano player.
Yeah.
And he's funny and he's cool and all. And so literally his first day streaming, I was there because I was just trying to help him on the other side. Like I was in chat, like telling him how the audio was and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and getting it set up. And they went live, and within an hour, he had like 50 viewers. And
Damn.
by the end of the night, he had like 100 followers, and he had partnership in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was insane just how
Yeah.
crazy fast he moved.
Well, like, he put in a lot of work to get that,
No, he did.
to,
And he
to
did.
get to
And,
that point. Like,
and he's got the skill and he's
Yeah.
got the talent. But I feel like he just came in at the perfect time. Everyone showed
Mhm.
up all at once, and then he got this huge ball of momentum, and he did it. And sometimes people try to replicate that, and they can never get that kind of success.
yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people give flack to girl streamers, which I'm gonna go on a little story on girl streamer.
oh,
Oh, unless wait, were you gonna say something, Squid? Before I go on this tangent,
No.
I
Go
mean, it's not
ahead.
really a tangent; it's about viewers and stuff and
Yeah.
starting. So basically, we were just like, since IRL at the time, like really focused on chat interaction and stuff. We found this one girl, and she was like into like Nintendo stuff, and we're like, I think Keto and I were like in a voice call, whatever. I don't know if you should cut this out, some parts, but like,
we can cut it out if we have
Yeah.
to. Go ahead.
yeah. But like, basically, when we started watching her, she only had like 100 something followers and stuff, average 10, 20 viewers. And then one stream, she gets hosted. I mean, hosts are huge. Like, he gets hosted by a Spanish streamer because she can speak Spanish and she's Asian. So it's like, oh, like that's different, right?
Right.
And like, the whole chat was in Spanish now. And I remember Keto saying in the chat, "This used to be an English stream. Feels bad, man." And then she read it and she was laughing, and like she was like trying to follow the chat, and like basically like from like then on, like the stream kept growing. She got a crap ton of donations, insane amounts from like 1, 2, or 3 people, like insane amounts. It's just like crazy to think about how like you can just sit in front of a camera if you're a girl. I mean, if you're good looking, I mean, Twitch is mostly guys, so like she just went to that. I mean, she probably didn't think about, since Twitch is mostly guys, I'm gonna stream IRL. Everyone's looking at me. But I think part of the way she was successful is because she spoke Spanish, because she's really interactive, and she's really nice. Also, she doesn't. But at the same time, it's like when you get all these viewers, there's also the downfall of everyone being mean to you for no reason, and like
Yeah.
and she's like telling me like I was wondering how she was, because she's not really active that much. She doesn't stream all the time. She goes to like medical school or something, and then like she basically like streams when she wants to, and she still gets a good amount of viewers, because she has that base. But yeah, so it's like you need to be lucky to get a lot of viewers, and you just need to just be on top of it too. But you should also have fun. I don't know. It's a lot of things.
Like sometimes people like, they get popular really fast. Then they get partner within like weeks or months. And then you have like people like Pope Squidward, who just recently got partner. Like he's been, streaming for a while.
Yeah,
And,
I've
like,
been streaming for a
yeah.
while too. Not
Where's
that anyone
partnership?
cares.
But like,
But,
sometimes people just get it like right off the bat, and sometimes like, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not the same for everyone.
It's not
And-
consistent across the
yeah.
board.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like the stuff that you do and what people recognize at that point in time. Because like
Mhm.
one day, no one could recognize you, and then the next day, like, oh, these people can,
Yeah.
So viewers are so saturated; they're everywhere, and it's hard to like. I think it's hard to like. I think it's not hard to get viewers, but it's hard to get a chat. I
Mhm.
feel like because
Yeah.
because you never know if like someone that you're talking to on that you'll like them. And I got kind of lucky
Right.
that I like most of the people that watch me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people that you can't stand, but like you've known them for so long, you can tolerate them. But it's like
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
this guy Squidbird in my chat. Oof, boy.
Yeah, that
Oof.
guy feels bad, man.
feels bad. Pepper hands, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was talking a lot about IRL girl stream.
No, that was actually
tasteful.
pretty interesting topic.
Yeah.
And like you explained it pretty well,
Why? Thank you.
like your point. So
Yeah.
I don't think we have to cut anything out of there.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that was.
You can cut out me saying cut it out.
No, we're leaving it all in now. It's
Oh no,
it's
unedited.
part of the
This is
conversation.
raw.
Unedited.
We're going in raw.
Raw, uncut.
Got you bases. Billy Reddies.
All right. So we're kind of running a little long here. So I think we
Yeah.
should start sort of
All right.
getting towards the end.
Sounds
I don't
good.
want to cut it off just yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think
so-
you had a question, Cece.
I did have a question.
All right.
Um, Zella, what's your deal?
What's my deal?
Yeah. What's your deal, Zella?
I
Dude,
Dude, I don't get asked this
intended to be
question.
weird. Yeah,
I
but
don't.
take
I don't
it
get
as
asked
you
this
will.
question.
What's your
Take
deal?
it. What's my deal?
Tell me what's your
Dude.
deal, Zella.
This is quite the question. I need like hours to think about. No, sure. So my deal is basically I'm just a kid. I was thinking of that song by Simple Plan. I don't know why. But
How could this happen to me?
not that song, but it's I'm just a kid and my life is a nightmare.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
a kid.
No, I
I
hate
don't know why I was thinking that because I said I'm. So, man, this is the first time you asked this question to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm,
We're
I'm the guinea
I
pig.
heard this.
Dude.
I heard it on another podcast, and I loved the response. And because normally when you say like, "What's your deal?" it's kind of like an aggressive question, like, "Well, yo,
Yeah,
man, what's
but-
your deal?" You know. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's also kind of like, so like, what are you into, dude? You know, like, tell me, like, who is Zella? Like that kind of question is like, who are you? And you're kind of
But,
like,
but the
"Oh, I
way
don't know."
you word it is just like what?
Yeah, it's
Throws
like-
people off guard.
Yeah, that's the problem. I was like, how should I go about this without sounding like an idiot? So,
So that being said, what's your deal, Zella?
what's my deal? So basically, I feel like I'm just an average dude who streams, who just happens to stream and happens to be good at a game called Monkey Ball 1. And honestly, sometimes I just feel like I'm like everyone else and not like everyone else at the same time. It's like I would go outside, just walk outside and be like, all right, so I'm just gonna do this, do that, and then come home and stream, and then it's like, just kind of feels like I'm in another world sometimes, and I don't,
Yeah.
and I don't really feel like I belong sometimes, and like I feel like I do belong at the same time, different parts of the day.
That's
So
like the
it's
human
like-
experience, you know. It's like,
Yeah,
you're not going to belong everywhere,
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like everyone else, but at the same time, you're gonna be like a lot of people too. So sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm everyone else, but I'm also not everyone else. I'm unique in the fact that I am the same and unique at the same time. It's like
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, it's like the whole snowflake argument where it's like, if everyone's a snowflake, is anyone a snowflake? If everyone's different,
Mhm.
are you different at all?
Yeah.
hmm
Which is more of a
It's like a
philosophical question
paradox.
than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think about like, man, what should I be doing now? Should I really be streaming or should I really do this? And then I realized like people enjoy watching me, and even though like it feels like no one is, but now I feel like there's at least a couple people that still like believe that I can still stream, and I mean still like be entertaining, I guess, or they just like me for me instead of like liking me because I play the game.
Yeah.
And that's one of the like crazy things to think about. Like the people that stay, like they're the ones you remember.
Mhm.
And there's people that come and go, on your chat and life in general. And it's like, but I kind of feel like I have a good memory sometimes, and I remember like some things out of nowhere. Some of my friends have told me like, "Oh, how do you remember this from like 6th grade or 4th grade?" I'm like, dude, I don't know. I just like have like I remember the things that I just want to remember like for a long. It's like
Brains are weird, man. Sometimes you just pick up like one detail and you stick with it forever.
yeah, and
Like, you
basically
can't remember like where your first address was, but like you remember that like that cute girl.
Oh, I
in
remember
5th
that
grade.
first.
Her
I didn't
name was
move that
Cindy
night.
Lauper, and
Ooh, wait, isn't she a famous singer?
she is. That was just coming up with the name on the
Yo,
spot, but
what a legend! You had Cindy Lauper.
ooh, Cindy Lauper on the brain.
Cindy
But,
Lauper on my mind.
I don't even like Cindy Lauper.
That was just like the most.
I don't even know any of her
random,
music.
reference.
For some
Shout out,
reason-
shout out to Cindy Lauper. Can we get
Shout out to Cindy Lauper, wherever
Can you-
whatever you're doing now.
yeah, whatever you're doing, we remember you. CC remembers you.
The
in
name
6th
Cindy
grade.
came into my mind, and the only thing that followed was Cindy Lauper, and so I just went with it. Okay, I guess we have to. We're going there.
We're
So-
going. We're going. There's no stops.
I think on that note, we can wrap it up.
I think we'll call
Alright.
it here.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Great.
So
I'm glad.
before
I'm
we-
glad to be your guinea pig. I hope I
Hey.
wasn't
that was great. Yeah.
wasn't garbage interview.
That was great.
I did
So-
all I could.
So before we go, do you have any shout outs or plugs?
Shout outs or
Where-
plugs.
Like where can we watch Zella?
You can watch Zella1 at twitch.tv/Zella1. You can follow me on Twitter at QWE Quebert Zella. And I barely use Instagram. I have a personal one, but I didn't wanna. I made a new one, but I barely used the new one.
Mhm.
But that's like Zella1 Potato if you care, spelled with an E at the end. And what else do I have? I have a Snapchat, which is not really used that much. I use a lot of social media now that I think about it. But when I first started using it, it was because of friends and family.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you,
I'm really only active on Twitter, so I don't blame you.
yeah, it's really hard for me to keep up with like all this social media that I have now. It's like people even care in this platform because I feel like it's mostly family members, and I want to post different stuff on different things and be like creative, but it's like, dude, it's so much to think about, and it's like, why do I even care? It's like social media, but
Alright.
social media is fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Anything else? So you got Twitch,
Twitter,
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Chat. I'm making a YouTube right now. It's Zella Uno, but I haven't really uploaded anything yet. But there'll be some videos soon. Try to get some
Alright.
edits, highlights,
Well,
stuff.
people can find you there. They'll follow you if they're interested, and they'll keep up with
Awesome.
you when you start posting stuff. So, all right.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. Do we want to post anything ourselves, Squid?
I mean, we can say you guys' information too.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Yeah. So I'm CC Neverender, and I'm at CC Neverender on Twitch. You can follow us at. You can also follow our Speed Docs YouTube channel. It's where I upload most of our Speed Doc, channel stuff. You know what I mean? Like all of our YouTube content that I actually care about. Usually, I just use YouTube as like a repository for PBs, that I upload from Twitch. But Speed Docs is where I actually put a lot of the effort into the videos and stuff. And so check them out. We got the Minish Cap video coming out soon. From this recording, if you're listening, it's already probably been out. But Squid, how about you?
You could follow me on Twitch at squid_bird. Trying to change that sometime soon.
Don't worry, it'll happen.
And I have a YouTube channel, Squidbird, one word. And you can follow me at Twitter on at YouGotMad. That's YOUGOTMAD.
Yo, you got that name on Twitter? Let's go.
Yeah.
What a legend.
It's funny because like it was that Bill O'Reilly interview where I forgot who it was. It was the rapper, but he's like, "You mad? You mad?" And then my friend like sent me this meme of him, and it was like his head sticking out of a mailbox. It was like, "You got mad," and so like as a joke, I knew my friend like he made that his account somewhere, so I was like, I'm gonna take it from him and use it as my Twitter. And so like ever since then, I've been like really hesitant on changing it.
Rude boy.
Just for the meme.
I do love how one of your songs on SoundCloud starts with "You got mad."
Yeah.
Yo, you didn't plug in your SoundCloud. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
What, your
my SoundCloud, Squidbird. I'm actually making the intro music for the next Speed Docs video, and I've made the other intros as well.
Yep, we've used your music a few times.
Yeah.
I have your
So-
SoundCloud open, but I haven't listened to it yet. I need to like
Rip.
find the time. I always open things, and I'm like, oh, I'm
I
gonna
see
come
how
back
it
to
is.
this later. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at
Nah,
like.
dude, it's all good.
No, I really want to listen to it. It's just like I'm really bad at listening to stuff that I'm not used to. So it's like I need to get in a certain mindset. But I feel like
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't think. I should just do it. You know what? That's the motto. That's the quote. Just freaking. Actually, no. That's freaking cliche.
And I'm guessing we're gonna have a Twitter for this as well and a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we should. I should probably.
Yeah,
write that.
so
Yeah.
we'll figure all that out.
Dude, there's
It'll
a
be-
lot of social media that we're gonna have to keep track of.
Yeah.
People will find this video and they'll know where it belongs. So
Yeah.
you'll
make a
find out
MySpace
where it
account.
rests. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll belong on 4chan.
All right, that's
Yeah.
enough. So let's go ahead and end it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Zella.
Later.